So, just something about the start. How do you feel? A little bit of a little road trip to get things going, and then this homestand real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think the road trip was good to get together, get to know all the guys, and kind of just get familiar with everybody. I think our process has been really good here in practices. Obviously, a lot of practice times. So yeah, it's been good.
What did you not like about the game Saturday night? What are some areas you're hoping to tighten up maybe that you saw in that game, or some things you learned about the team from that game?
Well, I think if you look at the game as a whole, I thought we were probably the better team for the most part. I thought we clawed ourselves back to the 2-2, and we're on the power play, and we take an unnecessary penalty, and then all of a sudden you put a skilled team, up on the 4-on-3 situation, and they score, right? So that was a little disappointing from our standpoint because I thought we did a really, really good job of getting back into that game after a couple of bad bounces.
Through the 2 losses you've had so far, competitive throughout 2 periods mainly, and then allowing not just 1 goal but multiple goals. I believe the phrase you used last week was kind of the wheels come off. Is that something that's been a concern of when you guys have fallen behind, that it's been a wider gap, or is that something you're not really worried about?
I'm not too concerned about it. I think if you look at the 2 games, they're different scenarios. I think in the San Jose game, it was late in the second, and in the third, here it was 5.5 minutes left, and we actually have a power play, and we're up. It's 2-2 game, and we need to be better there for sure. But I'm not too concerned about it.
Been around Cole Gutman now for a little while,
Yep.
even at camp and then back here. What have you seen from him? And even in the last couple of days, sometimes that can be a little shock to a guy.
Yeah, I think we know him as a player. We know his character. We know he contributed here last year. He can play, he can play. So we're just going to get him up and running here. I think his first game is not an indication of what he at as a player. He had a lot going on coming off of that long road trip, but a good conversation with him. We don't use that as an excuse. We're to learn from it and move on, and expect him to be a lot better here this weekend.
What are his strengths? What does he bring to a locker room and to a team on the ice?
Well, I mean, he leads by example on the ice. He's a competitor. His instincts off the puck, with the puck are really good. Total package in that way, and we trust him.
Would you describe the competition level on this team with the depth here?
Love it. Yeah, it's been great. It showed in practice. It's guys are really wants ice time. They want to be. So far it's been awesome.
See Marcel no longer is wearing yellow. Is he good to go? Do you expect him to play this week?
He's cleared to play. I don't know if he's quite game ready yet, but he's cleared to play.
Talk about the start of the 2 goalies, what you see out of them, and what do you want to see out of them, I guess, here early on.
That's a small sample. I don't
Sure.
know. I like Drew's played 2 games and Stobbs has played 1. I thought Drew looked good, looked composed in net. I don't think last game was wasn't really on him any of it. Stobbs had 1 tough game there in San Jose, but we expect him to respond here.
Other than just progressing, even coming from last year as well, is there any specifics you want to see out of the goalie play as a whole, or is it just an individual thing you kind of?
Yeah, you know what? I leave that to Smitty a lot. With the goals, I think again we just want the guy to look, to be calm in net and look poised in there, and we're all going to make mistakes, so moving on from those as quick as possible. But so far, I like both of them.
You have a very long stretch of division games now, like 16, 19, whatever it is in a row. It's incredible. It's like, how do you view that? And would you like to see the schedule arranged in the future in the AHL where you're not playing so many division games?
I think I've gotten that question before, maybe last year, right? I think it's one of those scenarios that it's kind of the hand that we're dealt. This is the American Hockey League, and there's cost involved, and there's stuff like that. In a perfect world, would love to see different teams, but that's not realistic where we're at. In a development standpoint, it's probably good that the travel is not as heavy as it is in the NHL. So we do get more practice time. We do get more gym time. We do get more video time. So in that aspect, if you look at the holistic development model, it's probably better.
Have you guys changed up anything about your practices, your game preparations this year from a year ago?
We have, yeah.
Anything you can share?
I don't know if there's anything just out in the open. But we distribute within our staff. We're looking at different things on video, and just structure-wise in certain areas.
You've got 4 guys that have started off with a point per game, I think, right now. So there's some talent that's showing through already. Are you happy with the skill level you're seeing?
Yeah, I think we have it across the board. I think it's important that that we get our middle 6 and our bottom 6 that are all contributing all across the board. We're big on getting our D involved and up the ice, and I think that's an area that we can do a better job of. But yeah, so far so good.
You're going up against an Iowa team this Friday, a team that you saw twice during the preseason. How do you take what you learned against them in those 2 games earlier this month and apply that to what you have coming up here on Friday?
Well, I think you hit it. It was preseason, so I think that's the first thing. But yeah, they had some tendencies that we'll watch for. That we'll see if they do those, try those things again. But those are just some tendencies, I think. And structured teams usually don't change much. But we'll take a look at their last couple of games and see where they're at.
They scored a bunch of goals on you, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Preseason.
Baddock was a late addition a week or so ago. What element does he bring that maybe this team was lacking that really needed?
I really like his forecheck game. He's heavy on the forecheck. He's been around. He knows the influence to play off the forecheck, and I thought he showed that last game and created some turnovers, and we got some chances out of it. So that's what we expect him to do.
It's a big dude.
He's a big man.